Hey YouTube, what's up? So, wow, it's really bright out here. I'm gonna kind of complain a little bit right now. Seriously starting to doubt our whole farm lifestyle thing. And here's why. I'm sure you guys remember we had to put in an invisible electric fence all around the property. So basically, I had to dig a trench around our whole property, 2.5 acres, and I laid a wire down into the trench, and then I buried it with dirt. And then after all that's done, and that takes some time in case you don't know. Then after all that's done, then you got to train the dogs with the collar, the shock collar, where the perimeters are. That takes a long time. And then once that's done, then you're pretty much good to go, right? Okay. But then about, I don't know, halfway through winter, we noticed the dogs would cross the boundary frequently. And we're talking like cross the boundary and maybe go visit the next door neighbor and come right back. Particularly if we had neighbors nearby that maybe visit every once in a while. When they would visit, the dogs would go and want to say hi all the time. Some people are like, cool, you know, like, oh, your dogs are so sweet, they come and say hi to us. Other people, not so much. So frustrating, right? Okay, well, it's just gotten worse and worse, to the point where the dogs would be outside and I would call them to me. I'd say, come, and they would bolt. They would take off and I wouldn't see them for a few hours. So this was starting to make me a little crazy. So I did some research, and most of what I saw said buy a stronger collar and do some retraining. So apparently they make a stronger shock collar. So I bought a stronger shock collar for Izzy and for Hank. I guess these are specifically for big dogs. I guess this is a big dog problem. And I turned up Charlotte's collar. And these new collars are like $140 altogether. So it's expensive. So I put the new collars on them and kind of get it set to a level where they're really responding to the shock. So like they go through and they really don't enjoy it, and kind of got to a point where they were kind of staying home. So I was excited and hopeful and thought maybe, just maybe, this was going to work. And then sure enough, it doesn't. It's nighttime, there's something that they want, and they go get it and they take off. So I'm pretty much devastated at this point. There were some tears. But then I decided to try the retraining. I kind of had some doubts about this because I kind of figured they know where the boundaries are, so what would retraining do? But I tried it out, and it did work actually for a while. They were actually staying home. So all of this kind of happened right before we went on our Cancun trip. And so I was really stressed out because I wanted the dogs to be able to have some freedom and run around, but I also wanted them to stay home. So it was hard to know what to do. I was a little nervous to leave them out, but we decided to do it. And it kind of seemed like they were staying home. So great. But the last couple times it's snowed, I've noticed some fresh dog tracks out by the road, like maybe a few cabins down from us, kind of a thing, all around there and leading up to the house. So that would tell me that they're leaving again. So I'm feeling really discouraged about that, to be quite honest. Right now I'm wandering around our property looking for where they cross the property line, because what I need to do is then take them over to that spot and correct them to try to get him to stop doing this, okay? So I see maybe one spot. See some definite prints there. So I might follow those and see where they go. I was just so excited about this invisible fence for the dogs. 2.5 acres for them to run around and be free. But more importantly, I need the dogs to be out to protect our chickens. Our chickens are in danger up here if they don't have some protection, because we've got foxes and bears and all kinds of stuff, coyotes, that want to eat the chickens. So essentially I need livestock guardian dogs. That's why we got Hank, right? And eventually, you know, we want horses. So if we're gonna have the hashtag farm life up here, we have to have the livestock guardian dogs to keep the animals alive. They kind of go hand in hand. So I'm kind of just starting to feel like this is more hassle than what it's worth. I would love to have horses someday. However, having to pay for the horses, well, I mean, Adam and I really just don't have a whole lot of experience. We don't have any experience, actually, with horses. So it's like a huge learning curve, and it's very expensive. And yeah, like after all of this nonsense with the fence, I'm just kind of like, is it really worth it? You know, I love getting fresh eggs. However, I don't know if it's worth all of this trouble. I still want the electric fence to work, but there's a big difference between opening the door to let them run around outside and go to the bathroom and play, and having them outside 24/7. Feeling really frustrated and don't really know what to do. I'm sure the post-vacation blues isn't helping. Life was just so easy on the beach, and now here we are back at home, and it's just not easy anymore, honestly, at all. Yeah, I don't know, I'm just kind of sick of it. I'm definitely considering just getting rid of the chickens, just making life a little simpler. So I found at least one of the places that they crossed. So now I can go to that specific place and correct them. Another thing is the foster kittens. They're cute, but Adam and I are sick of them. Having litter boxes in our bedroom, having little pieces of litter that you step on, and little cat food things, and yeah, that gets old. So yeah, so there's multiple places that they're crossing, unfortunately. So I'm pretty much just gonna have to take them around the whole boundary line and correct them. They really hate this. Last time I did this, it was kind of awful, but I'm gonna have to do it. So stay home. I haven't made any decisions yet, but I'm just kind of sick of this. And I'm sick of spending lots of time and money on this. So if you are looking into doing an invisible fence with your dog, I've seen a dog in town sit in his yard with an invisible fence with the shock collar, and he's really good. And he just stays there in that little yard. He doesn't go anywhere ever. It's quite amazing, but I will tell you, for me, it has not been that easy. I've trained them, they've gotten it, and then they just choose to disobey. So it's a little more complicated than I knew anyway. So just be aware, I guess, that it might not be that easy and that you might have some challenges. Yeah. As always, guys, if you liked this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. So I just have to tell you, I showed the Cancun video to the girls and they literally cried. Literally. That's how sad they were that they were not in Mexico. Man, I'm telling you, that trip was awesome, but it was like a little too awesome. It's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. Really hoping that we'll be able to do that again next year, because I kind of feel like it's a lifeline right now. I'm gonna go get some eggs now. Love you, Hank. Yeesh, I love you. Nice. Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna miss that if we end up not doing chicken someday, but we shall see. All right, catch you next time.